This video is sponsored by Supply Handlers. The pitch is where the football happens. The touchline is where the football loses its mind. Managers who cannot sit still. Players whose worst moment arrives with the whole world watching from a few feet away. Today we are going through 10 of them. These are the 10 craziest things ever caught on a football touchline.
Hey fam, this is your chance to build the jersey collection you've been waiting for. The Gaal 90 bundle deal is live. Buy 2 jerseys and get 10% off. Buy 3 and get 15% off. Buy 4 and get a massive 25% off. Club kits, country kits, retro classics, pick your favourites and save big. And yes, every order comes with free worldwide shipping. The deal runs only until the end of May. Gaal 90 bundle deal. Buy more, save more. Shop now at Gaal 90 Shop.
Number 10. Japan's whiteboard. The newest moment here is only a few days old, and it might be the most wholesome thing a touchline has produced. This summer's World Cup, Japan against the Netherlands in their opening game in Dallas. The clock was running down and Japan were chasing the game, so coach Hajime Moriyasu started holding up a small whiteboard with one huge number on it, counting his players down from 3 to 2 to 1. A homemade tactical trick telling them exactly how to shift play instantly. And it worked! Daichi Kamada equalized in the 88th minute to rescue a 2-each draw, and the whiteboard had gone round the world within the hour. Number 9. Joachim Low and the sniff. Joachim Low won a World Cup with Germany, and yet a good chunk of the internet only remembers what he got up to with his hands in the dugout. At the 2010 World Cup, he was filmed picking his nose and appearing to eat what he found on the biggest stage the sport has. He was not finished there. At the 2016 European Championship, during Germany's opening win over Ukraine, the cameras caught him reaching down the front and back of his trousers and then sniffing his fingers. Low apologized, said the adrenaline had got the better of him and he had not been aware of it. The clips have followed him around ever since. Number 8. Louis van Gaal's dive. Here is a manager mocking a player for diving by producing the most theatrical dive of the whole afternoon. February 2016, Manchester United against Arsenal at Old Trafford. Van Gaal was furious that an Arsenal forward had gone down too easily near his technical area. So rather than moan at the fourth official, the 64-year-old United boss hurled himself flat onto the touchline, a full pantomime collapse to show how the dive had looked. The fourth official stared at him in disbelief. Van Gaal apologized afterwards and admitted he then had to visit the dry cleaner. United won 3-2. Number 7. Conte almost clears the dugout. Antonio Conte feels every kick of a match in his body, and at the 2016 Euros, he nearly hurt himself celebrating. Italy against Spain in the last 16, the holders against a side plenty had written off. Italy won 2-0, and when Graziano Pelle poked in the second in stoppage time, Conte lost control entirely. He raced along the touchline and launched himself over the front of his own dugout, very nearly going headfirst into the seats before his staff caught him. For a man who had spent the whole night screaming at his players, it was quite a release. Number 6. Alan Pardew's headbutt. Not every touchline moment is a laugh. Some are just nasty. March the 1st, 2014, a Premier League game between Hull City and Newcastle, with Newcastle 3-1 ahead and cruising. The ball ran out of play near the dugouts, and Hull midfielder David Mailer shoved past Pardew to fetch it for a throw-in. Pardew, the Newcastle manager, squared up to him, leaned in and pushed his forehead into Mailer's face. A manager headbutting an opposition player live on television. He was sent off on the spot. His club fined him £100,000 that same night, and the FA later banned him for 7 games, a record for a manager in England. Number 5. Wenger and the missing exit. Arsene Wenger spent 22 years looking dignified on the Arsenal touchline, and then he gave us this. A late Arsenal goal at Old Trafford had been chalked off for offside, and a raging Wenger booted a water bottle and got himself sent off by referee Mike Dean. The trouble was the exit. The Old Trafford tunnel sits in the corner, nowhere near the dugout, so Wenger had nowhere obvious to go. He clambered onto a narrow ledge behind his own bench, jammed in among the Manchester United fans, and stood there with his arms spread wide as if to ask, "Is here all right?" It is one of the most quietly funny images in Premier League history. Number 4. The miss that broke a bench. July 5th, 2014. Argentina against Belgium in the World Cup quarter-final. Argentina were 1-0 up, but the game was still alive. One Belgian goal could change everything. Then Gonzalo Higuain broke through. For 1 second it looked finished. Score here and Argentina could breathe, but Higuain's shot hit the bar and flew over. On the touchline, Alejandro Sabella lost his balance. He leaned backward so far it looked like he might faint, arms out, body frozen. One missed chance had almost knocked the Argentina manager over. People laughed because it became a meme. But Sabella's reaction showed the truth of knockout football. Managers do not just watch chances, they feel them. And in that moment, Argentina's World Cup dream almost hit the floor with him. Number 3. Aliou Cisse and the fist pump. Some touchline moments are chaos. This one became a meme purely because the man looked so good doing it. June the 19th, 2018, the World Cup in Russia. Senegal had just beaten Poland 2-1 to become the first African team to win a game at that tournament. On the sideline, coach Aliou Cisse celebrated with a slow, heavy run of fist pumps, staring dead down the camera and never breaking eye contact. The internet did the rest. Within hours, he was a reaction gift for every small win in life, and he took it all in good humor. Number 2. The Simeone gesture and Ronaldo's reply. This one came in 2 parts, 3 weeks apart. February 2019, the Champions League last 16. Atletico Madrid beat Juventus 2-0 at home, and after the first goal, Diego Simeone turned to his fans and grabbed his crotch. He said afterwards it meant his team had the courage for the fight. UEFA fined him €20,000. The return leg in Turin is where it turned personal. Cristiano Ronaldo scored a hat-trick to knock Atletico out, and after his winning penalty, he gave the Atletico fans the exact same gesture straight back. UEFA fined him €20,000 too, the same fee for the same move. Simeone just smiled and said Ronaldo was showing his character. Number 1. The Old Trafford sprint. It is the most famous touchline moment in football, and it turned a little-known coach into a global name overnight. March the 9th, 2004. Porto were a minute from going out of the Champions League at Manchester United, beaten and on their way home. Then Tim Howard spilled a free kick, Costinha bundled in the rebound, and Porto were through. What happened next is the part everyone remembers. Jose Mourinho, in his long, dark coat, took off down the Old Trafford touchline with his arms wide, sprinting past the home dugout to reach his players. He had not planned any of it, and his players had ignored his instructions completely. It did not matter. Porto went on to win the whole tournament, and within months Mourinho was at Chelsea calling himself the Special One. So that is 10 of the maddest things ever caught on a football touchline. Some came from pure passion, others were a grown man forgetting the cameras were pointed straight at him. And the touchline keeps doing it. The newest one here happened during the current World Cup, which tells you we will be back before long. So which of these is your favourite? And which obvious one did we miss? Let us know down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so you never miss the next one, and we will see you in the next one.